Okay, boys. Week 3. I think I just like last week, we have to talk about the Packer game because, man, the Lions gave you a little scare there for a little bit, huh? And didn't a guy have like $800,000 on the line for that game? He had like a 16-game parlay.
It wasn't just on the 16-game parlay. It was based off of all the other games that went on that week, and it just so happened that if the Lions won the game and covered the spread, which I think they would have done if they would have won, I think, but he would have won like $700,000, $725,000.
That's ridiculous.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and it was off one of those like free parlays, like the ones that you get for just joining up or signing up on a website.
Crazy.
I think it was like DraftKings. So he was just like, hey, it's like free $25 for this week. Let me just like pick all these games. And it just so happened that he got all of them right except for that last one. So,
I know. You know how lucky you have to get? Is because the Vikings choked it away. Like,
I don't know if it was a choke or if the Vikings or if the Cardinals should have just won that game. I think the Cardinals were the favorites in that game.
Yeah, but they missed a field goal though to win the game.
That is true. They did miss that field goal.
I mean, honestly, you can say that the Cardinals probably should have won that game more handily, but at the end of the day, Vikings definitely missed that field goal.
Yeah.
So,
Packers game.
What's up? The Packers game.
It was kind of cool, kind of fun game to watch a little bit. I was worried that for the way that we came out so flat the previous week against the Saints, I was worried that like, we're going to come out flat again. And coming out flat at home in Lambeau, it just would have been really, 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 really crappy to see. So I'm glad that we didn't come out flat. I'm glad that we came out with a little bit more energy and we, everyone knows it's just the Lions, right? The Lions are still, up and coming. They're rebuilding.
They're not
bad. They're not bad. They're still in that rebuild though, right? Like, I don't know if you guys watched Peyton and Manning's or Peyton and Eli's Monday night show or whatever it was, but they were like kind of talking about it in the beginning about like there's so much in a new offense, no matter how much time you have in the off season to study and like become familiar with the new offense, you still have to it takes time for you to be able to connect what happens live, what happens on the field, and what actually happens, what you're actually supposed to do on each play, like when it's live versus, when you actually are just studying it. Okay, this is what's supposed to happen versus this is how, I follow it through on the field. So there's still a lot of things that Jared Goff is just trying to work out, and he was running those read options, and for a while, actually, I don't think the Packers even registered a sack. But what more important than a sack, I think, is honestly the fact that the Packers didn't generate any pressure at all until I think halfway through the third quarter, or not even probably the fourth quarter. Like, he looked so comfortable out there, it was ridiculous. He looked like he could honestly fire up the grill, probably cook up some burgers, and then probably have enough time to even clean all that shit up afterwards. That's how much time he had in the pocket. I mean, he had literally, at one point, I was counting it down, he had almost like 10 seconds before he could. It just so happened that there was no one open. And I mean, like Rashawn Gary was trying to get after him. Who the other, Kenny Clark and Preston, it was like a 3-man rush. And then we had another guy come off. I think it's the new guy, but it was like it was like a 3 or 4-man rush and no one was generating any pressure at all. So that was just disgusting. And the Lions don't have the best offensive line in the league. I'd definitely say probably like top 10, maybe if that. But it makes me nervous for this upcoming game because you guys definitely have, or you guys in the 49ers definitely have like a top 3 offensive line, even with all those injuries with the running backs, with all your running backs. So I still think that like you could throw in, I think you guys just signed Chris Thompson. So I think you could still throw in Chris Thompson and he could still run for like 50 yards easy. Just because we can't get to him.
It's Trenton Cannon, bro. That guy.
Wait, what is it named? Jock Patrick?
Yeah, well, it's one of them.
Yeah, he looks like an absolute Leonard Fournette type running back, and that would be kind of sick. I don't know, because the more I was thinking about it, even though a bunch of guys are injured, it doesn't really scare me too much because, as we saw, the only because like it was so confusing when me and Sheridan were watching the game. Elijah Mitchell was having to actually be the only one to fight for yards, and then the few times Jermichael and Trey got the ball, they busted off like 10 or 15 yards. So that's what it
Trey
does.
Sermon got the ball and got a concussion on the first.
That was rough.
Yeah, that
was a rough hit, man. He got crunched.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I felt bad. Like, him coming out, like it was. I was glad to see, like, he was like able to like come to it a little bit, but I was expecting him to be like down and out after that hit.
Yeah, because he had a double whammy there because he got cracked and then landed on his head again. So,
it was not
I think he'll be okay. They don't know 100% if he's not. He might play this week, right?
Yeah, he's practicing. He's just not doing contact.
Wow, that's very soon.
That's commitment. That's commitment.
I'm concerned about Elijah Mitchell though, because
he's not practicing either.
No, and his shoulder thing's a little bit more serious than just a stinger, which is very scary for me. And I mean, like, you guys don't really have to worry about the running game too much because if the Packers come out like they did against Jared Goff, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have more than enough time to find George Kittle wide open 90 yards down the side. That needs to happen because it has yet to happen this entire season. So
George Kittle hasn't like done anything this year.
But I mean, like, the Packers have given up touchdowns to tight ends to the first game, and then one 2 days ago on Monday, or 3 days ago on Monday. So I think I texted Kellan right after the game that George Kittle's going to be a major play this week in fantasy. I think he's going out for at least 200 and probably even like 2 touchdowns. Like, our linebackers can't cover him, our safeties can't cover him. We can't cover anybody.
And you're saying the same thing about like Lamar's going to run wild on you guys as well.
Yeah. Anyone with mobility that can run the ball and has a good O-line, they're going to dominate the Packers this season. So I'm honestly more worried about the Packers playing the Ravens later on the season than I am worried about us playing like a team like the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have a good O-line. They just don't really have much of a run game that's been formed. But like the Ravens are all about the run and they got the O-line to support it. So it's going to be a monster game for Lamar later on in the season. I think we play him like week 15, week 14, something like that. So
I honestly,
it's rough.
I wish you were more ride or die like we were, because I get super pumped when I have friends that are playing the opposing 49ers team. But for you, you're so logical and you just like almost accept the fact that it could be a tough Sunday night.
Look, I mean, I think I texted you. I was like, bro, or you texted me. You're like, oh, so are you going to root for are you going to pick the 49ers this year? And I'm like, dude, I honestly can't pick the 49ers because I picked the 49ers last year and I got burned on fantasy. Like, I was like, oh man, the 49ers are going to beat the shit. I mean, beat the crap out of, sorry, Sheridan's mom. Beat the crap out of the Packers like last season. And then, we went off, I think it was like a 38 to like 20 or something like that. I don't know what it was. And I benched literally all my guys in fantasy. And that was the game to play him because I think Aaron Jones scored the most points he had the entire season.
Yeah, you benched Aaron Rodgers this week.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not trusting it this year. I'm not trusting it. I'm still picking the Packers. I think best case scenario is like a 37-43 or sorry. What did I say? 42-49. I don't know what it was.
You think it's that high scoring?
I think that's our best case scenario to beat you guys is if it's a high scoring game and the defense kind of your guys' defense kind of gives up big plays. That's like, I think that is our best case scenario because you guys still have a dominant, D line. Obviously every team has to game plan against Nick Bosa. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. So I think, I feel like you guys are going to be able to sit back, even with. I think you guys are going to be playing at least 2 rookie corners, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 rookie corners. I think you guys are still going to be able to sit back and like cover 2 shell. There's a weird light coming in. I think you guys are still going to be able to sit back, cover 2 shell because we're beat up at the O line, man. We're beat up on the O line. We might miss Jenkins. We might miss Bakhtiari. And now we're.
Oh yeah, he left early during warmups or something, right? Or was that Taylor Lewan?
That was Lewan.
And yeah, okay. Dang, bro. Yeah, you guys are going to get thrashed.
Yeah, so I don't feel like Rodgers is going to have a whole lot of time in the pocket to be able to do it. I feel like it's going to be a lot of dink and dunks, and then hopefully you guys give up a big play and, it ends up being like a high-scoring game. I think that's the I think that's our positive. But if you tell me, this time next week that the 49ers beat the crap out of the Packers,
you can say
49-0, I would be okay. I would accept it. I would be like, okay, yeah, that's kind of what I expect to happen, But I'm gonna pick the Packers. I got burned last season. I'm not gonna get.
Is that your final score? You locking it in? 49-42?
Yeah, 49-42.
What the fuck?
I'm expecting it, bro. I think that's the best case scenario for the Packers.
You just gave our defense a lot of praise, and then you're saying that you're going to drop a 49 piece on us. That's disrespectful.
That's what I'm saying.
To drop the 49 on the 49ers, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's our best case scenario is that your defense gives up plays. I think that's legitimately our only way. If your defense doesn't give up plays, it's going to be off.
If we take away Aaron Jones,
it's going to be brutal.
That's the one thing, Sheridan. What are we going to do about Devontae?
Just hope he doesn't get passed to a lot.
Two on him. To put 2 or 3 guys on him, and then just wait about 2 or 3 seconds, about the amount of time it takes for Nick Bosa to get a sack. That's pretty much it, man.
You think Kyle Shanahan, when he asked D'Amico Ryans, what are we going to do about Devontae, he's just like, we're going to see how it happens. I don't know, man. Same with Aaron Jones. Yeah. He popped off. I thought I might have a chance against you in fantasy, and then you had Devontae and Aaron Jones left. So after his first 2 touchdowns, very much over. It was done. So,
yeah, dude.
You have him in all your leagues too.
I do, and I needed him to pop off. I needed him to get at least 20 points.
Yeah,
and I mean, obviously he didn't do anything against the Saints, so I needed him to get at least 20 points in order to at least be in contention to give some of the other guys a chance to put up some points.
Yeah,
he did it. More, and then some.
Bro, so, yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of fantasy football, people actually just gotta start listening to us, because when we were picking the games and we picked some of our fantasy sleepers, Demarcus Robinson had a touchdown.
Yeah, dude, I was watching that. I'm like, bro, Kellan, call this guy out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Also, Sterling Shepard, he gets so many receptions, bro.
Yeah, you also called that out, and then he ended up having a 22 burger or something like that. Yeah, he ended up popping off too. Yeah, I'm like, holy crap. It's 2 guys.
And guess who's number 1 on the waiver wire for quarterbacks? Your boy, Daniel MVP Jones.
Oh my gosh.
It literally makes no sense, though.
I mean, if you look at it, he hop on the bandwagon eventually, though, Sheridan. Come on.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. Never in my life will I.
I'm so happy. Goff is playing fine. Sam Darnold's reviving his career. Daniel Jones is actually not turning the ball over. I mean, granted, it is 2 weeks in the season, and there's a lot of football left to play, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from all the guys that I'm rooting for this year. But yeah, do you want to do some factor cat?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
I just got some 5. I got some 5 quick heaters, okay. I think, and we're basically. I don't know if I need to explain it again for Sheridan, but I just will. Basically, I have a quick, 5 quick storylines from the week. People's takes, whatever it is, something I saw on Twitter, something I saw on Instagram, whatever the case is, but. These are just kind of either it's a underreaction, overreaction. Is it fact or is it cap? And you're going to basically say what, in 1 to 2 sentences, whether or not you agree with it or not and why. So Let's start this off. First things first, Derek Carr is the MVP frontrunner for this season.
Fuck out of here.
I would have to say cap on that one, but I do think he's playing great. I think he's playing very good. Right?
He is leading the league in passing yards, and I think he's tied with Tom Brady in touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he's been very good this year, but I would not say he's the number 1 in MVP race right now.
Bro, wasn't he hurt though?
I think so.
I don't know, but the Raiders are absolutely good. They're gonna. I don't know. I think they're gonna stomp the Dolphins this week, because if Tua is done,
Tua is trash regardless. Awful. But
be nice, okay? What are you doing?
No, I don't like Tua, bro.
Sheridan, every time you move your mic, it comes up.
No, well, sorry, it wasn't. The little plastic parts weren't connected, right?
All right, so Kellan, you're saying it's cap too?
Oh yeah, 100% cap. It's got to be Kyler Murray, dude.
It's got to be Kyler Murray. All right. So the Panthers put up a great showing last week, and now they're going to be facing the Texans here in a little bit. do they have the best defense in the league, or have they just benefited from playing weaker opponents? I mean, they just played the Saints.
I don't think they're the best defense in the league, but I think they have a pretty good one. But I'm not going to say that like it was just because they're playing weaker opponents. I do think they can actually do something good in their division, and they do seem to have the right playmakers on offense and defense. And Sam Darnold's looking pretty good, so I do think they can actually maybe make the wild card or whatever. But I think they could definitely be the second team in that division over
Dr.
the Saints.
Cap, they win the South.
Cap, but
that's Cap. They got the
second
Bucs
place,
right now.
second place in the South.
Oh, second place. Yeah,
I would accept that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can say that's a potential fact.
Yeah, they could. The Saints got worked by them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was kind of crazy to see because I mean, inverse property of opponents. Basically, it makes the Panthers better than the Packers. So think about that one. All right, so Mac Jones will win Rookie of the Year.
No.
Nope.
He's pretty bad. I don't think he's good at all. Like,
well, let's look at the other. Let's look at the other. Let's look at the other quarterbacks out there.
When we said nope right away.
He's not that. Funny. I mean, out of the rookie quarterbacks right now, he's playing as the best one. But I mean, also what he's doing is really not that crazy. He has like a pretty good team. And all he does is like throw. He threw passes like just normal, easy passes. It's not anything crazy. I'd say Rookie of the Year right now.
Diamador Lenore.
No. Rookie of the Year on offense. I'm trying to think if who's a rookie on offense. I don't know.
Come on, Madden guy.
All the rookies aren't playing good.
Know.
I only play Madden 21, okay? So not Madden 22. Okay. So, but I do not think he's going to be Rookie of the Year by the end of the year.
Kellan?
I think it's going to be Justin Fields. So
by the end of the year, you think it'd be Fields? Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because he's getting his first start now.
I mean, but Mac really is the only one in a situation where he is going to start every single week, besides Zach Wilson. But the Patriots have more of a chance to win week to week.
And Trevor Lawrence.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it is a possibility because he will probably play the most games out of any of like the top flight rookies that got drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Well, really quickly, I'm just going to cap it off here. I think Zach Wilson has the most interceptions through 2 weeks. I think he has like 5 interceptions. That's the most through 2 weeks. Or it ties it at least. And Trevor Lawrence, he has 4. Or no, yeah. he has 5. Zach Wilson has 6.
Oh wait, Trevor, yeah, he sucks too. I mean, he doesn't suck, but his team.
And I totally agree with you guys. I feel like it's too early to tell. Mac Jones getting early Rookie of the Year votes is, I think it's a little too early. It's just 2 weeks. I think there's a very real possibility with how much Devontae Smith is getting used that he might actually run away with Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So I think there's very real.
Trey Lance Rookie of the Year, 1 pass, 1 touchdown right there. That's just efficiency. So
that's money right there.
I think we can talk a little bit about the whole rookie situations, rookie quarterback situations a little bit later, because I think it'll be kind of interesting to see when Trey Lance gets to start, because the next factor cap is, did Andy Dalton just injure himself out of being the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it was just about time that they were like, it was going to happen sooner than later, because Andy Dalton's not like that explosive of a quarterback, and he just got hurt now. So I think they're pretty much waiting for a chance to make Justin Fields the starter. And I gave it to them. So, yeah. I think it's going to be the same boat with Jimmy G and Trey Lance, as once Jimmy G, if he gets hurt this year, if he does, I think that's going to be the point where Trey Lance takes over, and then it's going to be Trey Lance's game from then on out.
Trey Lance will take over if Jimmy G plays an entire game like he played the Philadelphia first half.
Yeah.
Like, if he plays one of those games, I think Trey Lance will probably come in maybe that next week or maybe even later in that same game. But I think that Andy Dalton will probably come back after Justin Fields. I think he will. I don't think they're ready to give up on him because he is really good. They still won, but I think that Andy Dalton still has a lot in the tank. And they
started winning.
What?
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. What are you going to say?
I was going to say that they started winning when Justin Fields entered the game because, I mean, also Joe Burrow also kind of gave him like 3 interceptions within like 6 minutes. So that also probably factored into just possession time and overall. But I definitely think that Andy Dalton is going to be the starter moving forward. I think the exception is this week, just with the injury that he's dealing with, some sort of ankle injury or something like that. So as long as he's unhealthy, I think Justin Field is in the running. But I feel like if he has a really solid game this upcoming week, I feel like it's going to make it harder for them to go back to Andy Dalton, especially if he plays really, really well. So I think Justin Fields is definitely in a position this week to essentially earn himself a starting spot. I just don't think it's been given to him just quite yet.
Yeah.
All right. The final factor cap, this one's going to be kind of a fun one because I feel like I already know what you guys are going to say, but the Seahawks are the weakest team in the NFC West.
In fact, they're the weakest team forever since they came to the NFL. They're the weakest team.
Yeah.
Because I hate them. But
especially
anyway,
with that number 3 guy. Really weak.
Yeah, Russell Wilson,
Real
especially when he came in the league. They're the worst team. No, I think they are. They were up by like a few scores against the Titans, and then they blew that game.
Derrick Henry and the fourth quarter, man.
Yeah, I don't think their defense is that good. And honestly, like Russell Wilson kind of gets locked down. Even Pete Carroll was talking crap on Russell Wilson and said they just needed Russell Wilson to like move the ball down the field, and he couldn't do it. So
for one game, wow.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it this game.
Yeah, he only pulls it off like every other game of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, he just saves Pete Carroll's job.
I think the Rams are the weakest. Cardinals are the 3rd. Seahawks are the 2nd. Dude, when it comes down to it, I think Russell Wilson will beat the Rams, bro. I think that they're better. If you got Russell Wilson, he's better than Matthew Stafford. And with Tyler Lockett and DK, I don't know. That's just a better offense to me. They're just way more dude. It's so tough. I think the Rams are the weakest link in the NFC West. I think they're way overhyped and they're gonna get thrashed by the Bucs.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I definitely think that the Seahawks are the weakest team right now, and it's kind of odd because usually the way the Seahawks season kind of works normally, or at least like I'm an outsider, I'm not really totally plugged into that network, but it feels like they are really hot. You know, they have a really hot start. They'll go off maybe like 6-0, 7-0, whatever the case is. And then kind of like the offense kind of flutters a little bit. Then the defense is solid. And then the defense sucks. And then the offense sucks. And then it kind of goes back and forth. And then for some reason, every Seahawks game always comes down to like the fourth quarter. Some wild shit happens. Crap happens in the fourth quarter. Sorry, Sheridan.
You don't have to, dude.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like it always comes down to it. And I feel like right now, yeah, they're definitely like the weakest team based off what we've seen so far. They have a lot of question marks on that defense. I feel like obviously they still have Bobby Wagner, but I feel like they're just missing that kind of like pass rush capability, especially when it comes to, dropping safety down low and, plugging the hole when it comes to the run game. So I feel like there's just a lot of inconsistencies, and I feel like it's too early to say that they're particularly the weakest team, or like I think Kellan was saying that the Rams are the weakest team. I feel like early on a lot of people were saying the Cardinals might be the weakest team, and I feel like they're just on that winning streak right now. They're feeling it. They're getting plugged in. Rondale Moore or Randall.
Yeah, Rondale Moore is crazy.
Yeah, he's played the field, or he's been on the field for less than like 40% of the total offensive snaps, and he is wide receiver 17 in fantasy. It was a crazy stat. It came up on my Twitter. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, he's been on the field less than 40%. And I feel like it just goes to show how Cliff Kingsbury has, come about to bringing the Cardinals offense. Like he's just so looped in with trying to make sure that Kyler Murray is putting the ball in the best spots. And the Vikings are the Vikings, but I feel like those were some of those games where it's like, okay. I'm not convinced.
That game was crazy.
I'm not convinced.
I'm because the way Sheridan looked at me is weird to me because like
how did I look at you?
No, when I said that the Rams that the Seahawks are better than the Rams. The way you looked at me, you're like, But let's be real. The Rams, are you actually scared of them as a team as a whole?
I think they're definitely better than they were last year for sure.
Yeah, but to me, they're just
and the Niners
so
are pretty much the same, as last year. The Niners are pretty much the same team. Like they haven't changed much, and also everybody's hurt now again.
Well,
all the running backs.
Who are you? What are you saying right now?
Yeah, I mean, sure they have their more defensive pieces back together.
The same team,
but they're healthier. You're a healthier
They're gonna get
team.
absolutely cooked when they get a number one wide receiver against them, bro. They're gonna get sauced. Josh Norman's not gonna be able to keep up with them, bro.
Sheridan was literally saying how he's scared for this upcoming Sunday because he's like Devontae Adams is gonna run wild on us.
Bro,
yeah,
he's scared.
You can only
can you be scared against a team that was locked in with the Lions through halftime, bro?
We were locked into the Lions in the fourth quarter, bro.
Because we took all of our starters out, guy.
They were back in like after this one.
Quickly.
A ball hit off George Kittle's face mask and Deebo Samuel fumbled to give them an extra possession.
He could have caught it, bro. Easy money. It's not that hard to
The way Kellan just said, and Deebo Samuel fumble.
He never fumbles. He's the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Oh, factor cap. Deebo Samuel's best wide receiver.
Cap.
That's cap.
You think he could insert himself as top 5 by the end of the season?
No, he gets the ball the entire time because for some reason Kyle Shanahan hates Brandon Ayuk for some reason.
You don't think he'd be a top 5 wide receiver?
I don't understand that. Can you explain why Brandon Ayuk is in the doghouse?
I have no idea.
He's kind of like he had like a hamstring thing, right?
Yeah, but that was 2 weeks ago.
But I don't know what it is because he's so dynamic and explosive. I don't get why we don't get him the ball more. But I guess you don't really need to when you have Deebo. Why don't you like Deebo?
I like Deebo, but I don't think he's like the best wide receiver in the football
mindset right now. Jesus, you're being a hater.
You're just overhyping Deebo Samuel, bro. Like he's good, but he's.
I'm overhyping the most physical wide receiver in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like AJ Brown is pretty physical.
They were on the same. Yeah, no, wait. Dude, what? That was DK and AJ. But, bro, Deebo, why don't you like Deebo? What are you talking about?
I do like
problems?
Deebo. I do like Deebo. I do follow their Instagram page, the 19 Problems one. But no, I just don't think he's like the number one wide receiver in the NFL. So.
Well, he is right now.
Well, yeah, right now because he gets like every single pass, but that's because for some reason they don't let him throw. Is that bad? He's gonna get locked down once they play like an actually good secondary.
What are you talking about? Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the foot, and it doesn't matter if there's a good secondary because Kyle Shanahan gets him the ball regardless.
That is true.
Well, yeah,
I do agree with that.
You can't.
Jalen Ramsey is supposedly the best corner in the game, and who's his daddy? Deebo. He stiff arms his ass and throws him out of bounds.
You can't like just use one player the entire game. It's not going to work like that.
What have we been doing the last 2 weeks and we've won?
Because the teams have been bad.
The Eagles aren't a bad football team.
Yeah, they are.
What are you talking about? We barely had a touchdown before halftime.
Yeah, they're not a good football team.
Darsh, please back me up. Do you think the Eagles are a bad football team?
I think they're good. I mean,
you were literally saying Jalen Hurts was balling out the whole game, Sheridan.
I think that the Eagles
our secondary is not good.
I think that the Eagles are good for second place, and I think that that technically makes them a top 10 team in the NFC.
I feel like I'm on First Take with I'm like Stephen A. and he's like Skip Bayless right now.
Isn't it Max Kellan?
Yeah, no, but
dude, Max got kicked off the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, what happened? About. Wait, what happened with that?
Stephen A. basically like came out and did like a report. He was basically like, "Hey, I think I want someone else on the show instead of Max. Max is just not. We're not able to. We're not as compatible. We're not able to go back and forth." And I was like, and then he like reposted something on social media or something like that, where there were like various times where Max Kellerman just kind of said things that like kind of set Stephen A off. And he just didn't think that their chemistry on set was as good. So he was like, hey, I think you have other opportunities here with the network. I don't think First Take is it for you. So, And now I guess their plan is to bring in like guests every week.
They make like the most iconic stuff on ESPN, bro.
Yeah.
Like fate of the universe on the line, bro. If you want to take a shot, and it's, Andre Iguodala, not Steph Curry, bro. That's like iconic.
Yeah, exactly. Max Kellan, man. But yeah, really quickly, number one wide receiver thing. I think, Deebo Samuel, he's definitely getting plugged in. I feel like he is that guy for Kyle Shanahan right now, and I feel like as long as Shanahan keeps scheming him open, I feel like Jimmy's going to drop it off to him. I feel like Jimmy's that quarterback to get it done. And I feel like back to what Sheridan said like 5 minutes ago now about number one wide receivers cooking the 49ers. That's only a problem if the opposing quarterback has time in the pocket. If opposing quarterback is being rushed, blitz, whatever the case is, they just don't have time. They're not able to settle into their rhythm, whatever the case is, then they're going to be throwing off balls pretty much the entire game. And I feel like teams like the Packers, which do a lot of schematic based stuff where players are designed to be open at certain spots, similar to a Rams offense and definitely similar to what the Cardinals have been doing lately. I think that will play into how you guys play them. And I think that you won't find that as much of an issue with number one wide receivers cooking the 49ers. I think that